Now let's discuss facing a turn continuation bet. It's important to realize that when you call the flop bet, your range as the caller has lost all of the junk and perhaps some premium hands and draws, depending on if you opted to raise those hands on the flop, right? So what you should do once we get to this point is we should reclassify all of the hands in our range that made it to the turn, and then use the bet response flowchart that we've used many, many times so far throughout this course, where we are folding our junk, calling our marginal hands, and then with our premium hands, either raising or calling based on whether or not we have the nut advantage. There are a few adjustments you should make at this point. Understand that when you are in position, you're going to realize your equity pretty well going to the river. And this incentivizes you to call more frequently, often more than whatever the minimum defense frequency is. And this implies that you will raise somewhat infrequently. From out of position, though, you're going to have a difficult time realizing your equity. And this, in turn, incentivizes you to call less often than the minimum defense frequency and to raise more often. So you're going to see a decent amount of check raising on the turn, especially with 40 big blind deep stacks or perhaps shorter. Also, as your opponent continuation bets larger, using a bigger size, that generally implies that they are more polarized, and therefore you should be raising those bets less often in general, and also you should be defending against them less often. And if your opponent starts using a very big bet, like an overbet, that implies a very polarized range. And if they're using a very polarized range, you definitely don't want to raise. So we're going to go through a bunch of examples to be sure that you fully understand how to play this dicey scenario.